Guys,
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I'll get started then.
I'm ready when you are.
I'm gonna turn it loud.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. We will have Jeff here in a few minutes doing the webinar. If you have any questions, at the end we'll do a question and answer, so you can jot it down. We'll go over that. A recording of the webinar will be available after this, so we'll send it out to the full membership, so if you have any questions, you can always reference it. But up here is where we'll get started, and I'll kick it off to Jeff here.
Hey everybody, how are you? Jeff Turner here. Hopefully you can all hear me well. Can somebody validate on your side that I'm audible and that everything is the way it should be?
It's good. We're good to go.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm just going to adjust this screen a little bit so that things are viewable in a halfway decent manner. Thanks everyone for being here today and for giving me the opportunity to explain to you the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors integration with RealSatisfied, and to let you know, if you don't know already, that what Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors has done is unique in our association relationships, in that they have basically made our Agent Pro accounts available at no charge to their members, and it's a pretty fabulous thing, and we're very, very excited about it. We get lumped into the category of agent rating and review sites, even though I think we are lumped into that category because there hasn't been a category that people recognize that we fall into. Ratings and reviews are a byproduct of our system. What we really are is a customer satisfaction platform built specifically for the real estate industry. And so what you're seeing on the screen today is the public-facing portion of our website. It contains obviously some very specific information relative to an agent and to the brokerage that that agent is associated with. It contains customer testimonials. We collect testimonials. We do not collect reviews. We only ask for testimonials from customers when, in the course of taking a customer satisfaction survey, they indicate that, one, by the answering of their questions, they're very happy with the performance of the agent in that transaction, and two, they've indicated, I would recommend this agent to my friends and family members. And we also display our overall customer satisfaction, recommendation, and performance ratings that are gleaned from multiple questions throughout what I'll call a very lengthy customer satisfaction survey. And I'll explain that in a little bit, but this is the front-facing portion of our website. What you need to understand, one of the things that I believe makes us unique in this industry, is that our license states that the data that we collect is owned by the account owner. In this case, if you're an Agent Pro account owner through the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors, you own this data. You get to determine what shows up on this page. Customer ratings are all in, all out. If you don't want to display customer ratings on your agent profile page, we make it very, very simple for you to simply say, please don't show my customer ratings. Less than 1% of our clients actually don't show their customer ratings, however, so you should be aware that most people do show their customer ratings. The second thing that you should understand is that no customer testimonial will ever appear on your profile page without you first having given approval. We do that for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is that a consumer can say something in a customer testimonial, and even though these are all skewed positive, because again, they're testimonials, you're gonna have to apologize for the printer going off in the background. What can happen inside of a testimonial is that a consumer might say something that you don't want made public. For example, you did a fabulous job and thank you so much for reducing my commission. Or they might say something that you look at and say, I know that I didn't do anything wrong, but what they're saying might give somebody the indication that there was a RESPA violation of some sort involved. There's all number of reasons why you might not want to make a testimonial public, and again, that's 100% within your control. The other thing that you should understand is that the association has no detailed access to your data whatsoever. These accounts are yours, these accounts are under your control, and everything that you're going to see in the back end of this account is 100% exclusive to you. Even in our broker relationships, the agent information is controlled by the agent. So this profile page that you're seeing is driven by an RSS feed. It is the most open way of sharing information on the web. We did this, again, because of our belief in this data being yours. We want to make this as easy as possible for you to share data, for you to share this information, and for you to create on your own websites, anywhere you choose, all of the information that you see here. So from a single place, I'm going to log into the back end of our website and walk you around how this works. From one place, you can simply approve, and then it will syndicate anywhere you have permission to syndicate information to. Now, when you first log in to your RealSatisfied account, this top portion is going to be exposed. There is a short 4-minute and 3-second version of what I'm sharing with you today that walks you through all of the different aspects of an account to help you understand where you need to go. So if you are watching this and you forget when you get into your account something that I've said, the video very quickly walks you through all the different aspects of how to control your account. One of the first things you're going to want to do is to make certain that your profile details are exactly as you want them to be. Your account is going to be set up based upon an integration with the RETS feed through LBAR. If for whatever reason you would like to change that information, you can simply change that information here and add whatever details you think are necessary. Okay? The second thing you're going to do is add in any profile details that you want the consumer to see when they land on your public-facing profile, and also to make the determination of whether or not you want to show your ratings as a percentage or as stars. Again, personal option here. You'll notice that before this was located on that profile page as stars. I'm going to go back and show you something very, very quickly. The math on this is pretty simple, but some people like to show it as stars rather than percentages. 3.7 stars is 74% customer satisfaction, but again, psychologically, some people like showing that as stars rather than as percentages. Again, the vast majority of our clients end up showing it as percentages because they like that minute differentiation that occurs in the upper range of customer satisfaction scores, but it is 100% your decision on whether you want to show your customer satisfaction ratings as stars or percentages. And that, again, is controlled right here under Profile Page Settings. If I turn off my ratings, they are turned off not only on my profile page, but also in the RSS feed and in any data that gets syndicated anywhere. This includes our integration with Google Rich Snippets in search results. So if you turn off your ratings, our site will not show up as a review site in the Google search results when someone Googles your name. So turning this on ensures that when someone Googles your name, we show up as a review site and one that you have control over. And again, you can turn on and off the showing of your testimonials in mass. Very few people have done this. I think maybe only 1 or 2 people have actually turned off their testimonials. I can't imagine why somebody would want to do that, but again, it's 100% in your control. These social media and personal website details are yours to control as well. Again, these are to help consumers who happen to land on your profile page. We are not a destination site. You cannot search for agents on our website. You cannot compare agents on our website, which is again why I say we won't really fall into that agent rating and review category, because you can't search for agents on our website. Our objective is to make certain that if someone is Googling your name, they find us because we are the place where you have control. But if you'd like to link them out to other places, this is where you place your links, and you may also direct them to other review sites if you wish. So if you have profiles on Realtor.com and Yelp and Zillow and Trulia and Google Places, you can place those links here. These are not syndication links. Syndication is handled on the lower left-hand side of this panel here. and all the access that you need to get to the different kinds of widgets that can be used to recreate the information that you see on the profile are located here in the feeds and widgets section. We have 3 different types of feeds and widgets available to you. We have the RSS feed, and RSS feed, again, if you're not familiar with it, it stands commonly for really simple syndication. If you've got a website today and it can't handle an RSS feed to get the information you need, you might want to consider finding a completely different website provider. It is literally the most open way of syndicating information. We have a WordPress plugin for those of you who operate websites on the WordPress platform, and we have a JavaScript-based widget that allows you to go in and customize the look and feel of what shows up on your page based upon anything you wish. So we have some basic styles that you can then go in and customize any way you see fit. If you want to change the color and the format of that, you can do that. All you would then need to do is to grab this code, and what I recommend is that you select all and then copy and paste that code into the widgets section of your website. It will then show up looking exactly as you see it here in terms of your testimonials. Again, once you approve a testimonial on our website and you've made it public, anywhere you have syndicated that information, those testimonials will appear. And that includes on Realtor.com. We are the only third-party customer satisfaction platform that can syndicate testimonials and recommendations into Realtor.com. When you click on this button, we compare the information in your account in the email and a mobile phone number to try and connect that account easily. If you have not claimed your profile on Realtor.com, I do recommend that you go do that. It makes sense to me that if you've got recommendations, that those recommendations appear where a consumer can see them, and one of those places obviously is Realtor.com. One of the most common questions we get asked, so I'll just ask it now before somebody asks it at the end, is can you also syndicate to Zillow and Trulia? We can, but they won't let us. They have some different ideas about data ownership. Realtor.com honors our belief that this data is yours, so that if you take down a testimonial here on our site, Realtor.com takes it down as well. So we have the integration with Realtor.com, and again, feeds and widgets that allow you to place that anywhere else you have permission. Facebook and Twitter integration is done on an individual testimonial basis. So when you receive a testimonial as a result of a completed customer satisfaction survey, you will go through an approval process where you say, yes, I'd like to make this testimonial visible to everyone. And once you've done that, you can determine whether or not you want to post that testimonial to Facebook and Twitter. All of the survey invitations sent on your behalf through our system are available to you here on the lower right-hand side, and you'll notice that they're categorized. There are some alerts that pop up that tell you that action needs to be taken. You're emailed these alerts as well, but they're always available to you in the back end of the website. We try to make it as simple as possible for you to get to these alerts. When you get an alert from us in email, we do not require you to remember your login to your website. Our links are intelligent and take you directly to the place that you need to go to take an action. So for example, if you have a testimonial to be reviewed, when you click on the link in the email that you receive, it will take you directly to a page that looks similar to this. From your mobile phone, you'll be able to make a determination on whether or not you'd like this testimonial to be seen. Every testimonial that we receive on your behalf is turned into a graphic. This JPEG image is included in the email that we send to you, along with the written text, so that you can see exactly what your client has said in that testimonial. This JPEG graphic, you can do anything you wish with it. We use it to publish to social media. So once I've determined, yes, I'd like everyone to see this testimonial, the next decision I make is, do I want to share this out to Facebook or out to Twitter? Images shared to social media get seen and shared more often than just straight links or straight text. We try to help you by placing in some copy here. I've written about 55 different social media posts that we randomly place in here. My suggestion is that you edit this and give some context, especially on Facebook. Twitter, you've got a limited number of characters, and some of you may not even use Twitter, so it's 100% your option as to whether or not you share your testimonials out to social media, but again, we've tried to make it as simple as possible for you to do that. The best practice that I've seen around sharing testimonials to Facebook is the agent who does provide some context to that transaction when they're sharing out to Facebook. But again, this image is what gets shared. It gets shared as a photo, either to your Facebook personal profile, or you can choose to share it to your business page. And on Twitter, it gets shared as a pic.twitter.com image as well. So we use the image platforms available to us in those social media sites to make that happen. Once I've decided whether or not I want to share, I'm reminded to connect to Realtor.com if I haven't. And again, if you've got testimonials, it only makes sense that you do so. I'm going to go show you what this looks like. So let me just Google an agent that I know I can find quickly for you. So this is Ted Blanchard in Dallas, Texas. And you'll notice that if I could type today, that would be much better. So you'll see Ted's RealSatisfied results show up first in the Google rankings. You'll see that the stars show up because he has turned on his the showing of the data on his profile, and when I click on his profile, you can see that he's chosen to show this as stars. He has 41 customers who've reviewed him. When I go to visit his Realtor.com profile, you'll notice that he's not only syndicating recommendations from RealSatisfied, but he's also syndicating his recommendations from LinkedIn, which is another sharing partner. So as you can see, as I scroll down, if a testimonial is coming from the RealSatisfied platform, it shows up here and it states that this was a verified transaction via RealSatisfied, and that's how it integrates with the Realtor.com profiles. Seamless, one click, happens automatically once you've made a testimonial public. And again, if you choose to take a testimonial down for whatever reason, Realtor.com honors that and takes it down as well. The next step in that approval process, we give you the option to say thank you with a coffee. We built this specifically because in our own customer satisfaction survey last year, 40% of our clients said that they never thanked their client for filling out a survey or for providing a testimonial, and we wanted to make it easy to do. You can choose $5, $10, $15 options to say thank you. This is not an incentive to fill out the survey or to leave a testimonial, but it is just an easy way to say thank you so much for filling out a survey or for leaving me a testimonial. Navigating through this is pretty straightforward. Again, at any time, if you want to understand how this all works, if you click on this link right here, it will expose a tutorial video to walk you through it. But all of your access to every single transaction, every single survey that's been sent on your behalf, whether it's been completed or not, is available to you here. You have a PDF of every single survey in detail. And again, we do collect a great deal of detail inside of these surveys. Something new that we've added to the seller surveys that Margot and Elaine, you've not seen yet, is that we're including an individual customer satisfaction score on every survey. What we're seeing is that the industry is moving towards wanting to have that data exposed. This will always be an option in our system. Whatever the industry moves toward, we want to be able to meet those demands of the industry, but we also want to leave it in control of the agent whether they expose this information publicly. This is available on the PDFs that we provide to you that you can print out and take into listing presentations. But the important thing to note here is how detailed we are in getting to customer satisfaction and agent performance ratings. Because we're asking multiple questions about your performance inside of the transaction, it's possible for a consumer to be very unhappy about something that took place in the closing, but to express the fact that they're happy in every other aspect of that transaction without it having a significant impact on their overall customer satisfaction number. The second thing that I think happens as a result of that is that consumers have the ability to get very, very specific about the things that they have concerns over, and maybe for the first time ever, they're stepping back and taking a look at all of the things that took place inside of that transaction, and it provides for a richer ending testimonial at the end in our experience. Once consumers have gone back and reflected on all of the different things that happened inside of that transaction, we then prompt them to leave a testimonial if they're satisfied with the performance that you've given them inside of that transaction. The last thing that I want to show you is the quarantine review process. So what we try to do, because we are a national platform and people turn to us to validate that these are actual surveys that are being completed by customers who've completed transaction with agents, is if something looks suspicious to us, we will put a survey in quarantine. Often agents will send a survey to themselves to test out the system. We are never, ever, ever going to publish a survey response or a testimonial when you've filled it out yourself. So we run about 5 different tests on the back end of our system to determine whether somebody's trying to game the system. And when that happens, it's placed into quarantine. If you feel that we've placed something into quarantine and it shouldn't be, simply request a review, and we manually review every single quarantine request that we get requested to review. And this is the only kind of survey response that you can delete in our system. It's sort of our get out of jail free card if you've made the mistake and you've decided to send the survey to your brother to fill out on a transaction. Okay? That's the basics of how the system works, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of what takes place in the system. This is going to trigger the way the integration with the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors works is that at the close of a transaction via the RETS feed, we will send you an email saying that a survey invitation is ready to be sent based upon a closed transaction. And all we'll need from you is the name of the client and the email, and we will take care of sending that survey to them and collecting all the data and the recommendations on your behalf. The success we have in that is pretty high. On average, across the country, 50% of people who receive one of our surveys fill it out completely. On average, 67% of people who are asked to provide a testimonial in our system provide a testimonial in our system. So the key to making certain that you get the best responses that you can get in terms of completion is to simply inform your client in advance that a customer satisfaction survey is going to be sent their way. We'll take care of the rest in collecting the information, giving you the feedback you need to understand whether or not you actually performed up to the promises you made to the consumer, and also collecting those testimonials in a way that allows you to easily syndicate anywhere you choose and to collect them in a platform where you own the data. And I'm done. So I'll take any questions you have.
Jeff, real quick question. This is Margot.
Yeah.
Will you explain what will happen on Wednesday when we launch?
Sure.
Just automated emails.
Yep,
and how
absolutely. So you're going to receive an email on Wednesday from RealSatisfied. It's going to be co-branded both with RealSatisfied and the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors logo. It's going to welcome you to the program, but it's going to require that you opt in. This is something that you must opt in to participate in. If you have transactions that are ready to have surveys sent at the time that the email goes out on Wednesday, it will also tell you which transactions are available to go out to send surveys. And so that's your signal. You'll be sent that email. Once you decide to opt in, you'll be sent another email with your temporary password, and you'll also be prompted to fill out your profile details and to make certain that the profile is set up the way you choose. You are not limited, however, to sending surveys only to those to the reminders that we send. You can send a survey invitation to past clients if you choose. so that you can build up the data in your account and collect recommendations to syndicate out to Realtor.com and other places by simply clicking on the Send a Survey invitation. You can select the survey type that you'd like to send. Simply provide us the property description, the customer name, the email greeting, and the email address. Click on Preview to see what that looks like, just so that you're happy with it, and then send. We do recommend, however, that if you're going to go back further than 30 days, that you go out of your way to communicate with the customer that a customer satisfaction survey is coming their way, because the survey does say your recent purchase or your recent sale of a property, and we want to make certain that the consumer knows that a customer satisfaction survey is coming their way. It's just the right thing to do. Did that explain it?
Yes, thank you. We have a question. I might have to repeat it.
Okay. On Zillow, they sell their zip codes. On this Realtor.com, do they sell zip codes, or just Realtor.com? Like, in other words, if I have a listing in 40509 and I'm not a Zillow preferred person,
right?
Everybody else, all the other 3 preferred realtors, basically have IDX'd my listing.
Yeah.
So I'm not on the listing, and it's my listing. The only way I could do that was I went to like north of Georgetown and bought a zip code there. I had to spend $150 a month. I had to go south of Georgetown on the interstate. Totaled about 25 listings and spent about $150 so that I could get my name on my listing.
Yep.
And then they called me back a couple of weeks later and said, hey, we can get you 40501A. And that zip code, which is downtown Lexington, it's going to be another $125. I said, okay, yeah, well, I'll take that one, but cancel my one north of Georgetown. I said, no, we can't do that. You got to take them both. So we took that one too. And then they called me about 2 weeks later and said, hey, we got the zip code you've been waiting for, 40509. I said, okay, well, cancel the other ones and I'll take this one. They said, no, we can't do that. You signed a year's contract. So then I ended up calling them back and I said, I tell you what, this is a scam, it's a fraud, and I want my money back. Cancel them all.
Unfortunately, this is just the realtor profile. We don't have any control over listing.
Realtor, but it's Realtor.com. They're the competition for Zillow. So this is not part of Realtor.com.
Well, they'll syndicate your testimonials. Will syndicate. You can have the option to send them to your Realtor.com profile, but that would be a question for Realtor.com.
So Realtor.com, basically, do they sell zip codes?
I don't know. You would have to contact
So
Realtor.com.
let me just address the question in the best way that I can. So the integration, your Realtor.com profile is free of charge. There is no cost for making that profile as detailed as you want to make that profile. There's no cost for syndicating our recommendations into that profile. What happens on the upgraded Realtor.com listings is a completely separate aspect of what takes place. So what I'm trying to encourage is that you take advantage of all of the options you have to make your profile as complete as possible, because that costs you nothing, if that makes sense.
Any other questions? Yes. So the question, right. Did you hear that question, Jeff?
No, I didn't. Can you repeat that question for me?
The question was, what happens with the client's email addresses that are provided? Do you guys just, once they send the email, you don't do anything with them? She's just wanting to make sure her client's email addresses are protected.
We never sell our client email list, your client email list. We only communicate to the client through very specific means. So for example, when you give us your client's email to send the survey, we won't communicate with that client again except for the reminder that goes out 7 days later if they haven't filled out the survey. After that, you have to tell us to communicate with your client, either through going in. So for example, if you want to go in and look at a sent survey, for example, that hasn't been completed yet, let's see if this one is one. So I can update this reminder was sent, I can resend it, but we only do that if you tell us to initiate that communication. we're never going to communicate with the consumer again after that first reminder unless you tell us to communicate with that consumer. And we do not ever sell our mailing list to anyone ever, period.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
My wife and I sell real estate as a team.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, from a strategy standpoint, do you recommend that we set up 2 separate profiles or try to combine them into 1 profile? We do each have our own MLS login.
Yeah, so here's the issue with teams, and there's no easy answer to this, and you probably realized that I was going to answer it this way, but I'm gonna go ahead and complete the answer anyway. There are so many aspects of the industry that doesn't recognize teams, for example. So you can use a single profile if you wish, and you can go in and make the full name the team name. Or you can use 2 separate profiles and put the team name in the team name field so that the team name is recognized. We have people that do it both ways, and I think it's really it's going to be contingent on how you work. If you always work together as a team with a client, and the client is always going to recognize you as a team, and if your profiles are set up on Realtor.com and other places always as a team, then I would go ahead and have a single email address that's used to send out the surveys and collect it on the team basis. If, however, you've got profiles set up as separate individuals, but the team name is there, then I would set it up that way. But there's no right or wrong way to do this in the system. It's whatever way is going to work best to make certain that you're getting the proper syndication and that you're getting the proper connection between accounts on other systems, if that makes sense.
Do you mind reviewing the different types of surveys?
Sure. So I'm actually going to give you a way to go and make certain that you don't get quarantined right off the bat. So I invite you all to use this, what I hope is an appropriately named button called Send a Survey to Yourself right on the front page of RealSatisfied. Again, LBAR is fully funding Agent Pro accounts. So you're getting the fully functional Agent Pro accounts at no cost to you whatsoever. So you have access to all of our surveys, but in order to get access to the property management surveys, you just need to click on the request button, the questions button, the help button that sits at the top of the page on every page of our website, and ask us to turn on the rental surveys if you manage properties and would like to use our property management surveys. We have seller surveys, we have buyer surveys, we have a lost listing presentation survey, and this is a survey that some of our clients use. If you go on a listing presentation and they choose a different agent, the survey is a very quick survey that's basically designed to say, help me get better, tell me why it was that I couldn't win your business. Peer survey is a survey that you can send to the co-broke on the other side of the transaction to ask how you did in communicating throughout that survey. These 2 surveys are not included in the overall customer satisfaction, and the testimonials or any comments that are collected on these are not included on the profile pages either. Landlord loyalty, tenant loyalty, landlord placement, and tenant placement surveys, again, are not turned on automatically, but all of those surveys are available to you if you'd like to use them. Simply request those be turned on via our help desk, and we'll turn those surveys on. Again, I invite you to send yourself a survey so that you can see exactly what it feels like to fill out one of these surveys, exactly what the communication process looks like. And again, our surveys are long. Some of you, the first time you go through them, are going to say, these surveys are too long, my clients are never going to fill them out. I assure you that is not the case.
Yes, Becky?
Is the agent always originating the testimonial or the survey? I mean, how's it originating?
So
the question.
yeah, so how is the survey originated? So one of the benefits of integrating, what we've learned over the last 4 years is that if an agent, for example, has set up an account, agents, you as agents, I'll say, how do I say this without saying it in a way that's not offensive? You guys are very transactionally focused, and that's what we've learned. And unless you're a system that is in your face all the time, transaction management system, lead management, CRM, something that's very, very paperless, we're not any of those systems. We sort of recognize our place. We're an afterthought. We're something that takes place once the transactions close. And often agents move from transaction to transaction. And if you don't have very specific systems in place that say, I did this, now I'm going to do this, and one of those this is being, I want to send a customer satisfaction survey, a lot of agents just simply forget to send surveys. So the integration with LBAR is designed to just simply send you a reminder. This transaction closed. We're reminding you to send a survey to the client. You then would either provide us with the information via the form that we send you at that moment, or you can log into the back end of your account anytime you wish and send a customer satisfaction survey. But in our agent accounts, the agent always initiates the sending of that survey.
Any other questions?
The survey and the testimonial, are they one and the same? I didn't get the PDF.
Did you hear that, Jeff?
Yeah. So you're asking if the survey and the testimonial are one and the same? So
Yes.
you can have a survey returned that does not have a testimonial associated with it. And so a survey response, a completed survey, you'll notice that there are 86 completed surveys here, but only 12 of them have testimonials. This is a demo account. That's not typical. Typically, again, we only ask for a testimonial from clients who indicate that they're happy. It doesn't make sense to ask for a testimonial from an unhappy client. I hope that makes some sense, but it makes sense to us. So we're not going to ask an unhappy client to provide a testimonial. Again, these are recommendations. These are testimonials. So you can have a completed survey that has no testimonial, and you still get, obviously, the completed PDF with all of the detail. And in those situations, again, you've got a completed testimonial that may or may not have a survey associated with it. When you click on one of those completed testimonials, this is a buyer survey that has no testimonial. You'll notice that there is no review button for you to go back and review it and to tweet out or to do it. There's no graphic associated with it because there is no testimonial, but you can still get access to the complete details of that report so that you can go in and see why they may have decided not to give you a testimonial. I think some of the greatest learning opportunities, and again, this detail on the survey is always private in our system. We believe that some of the greatest learning opportunities come from clients who weren't 100% satisfied. And so the reason why these surveys are as detailed as they are is so that you can go through and find out. You know, they went out of their way to say I was good at these things, but man, they were not very happy about these areas. We have clients who call every customer who gives them a customer satisfaction rating lower than 90%, for example. And so it's up to you how you manage this information that's collected on your behalf, but it's always available to you, and the detail is always available to you to use any way you see fit.
Any other questions? Last thing, Jeff, if people have an issue with something on their dashboard, sending a survey, what should they do? How do they contact you?
So there's a help button right here at the top of every screen at RealSatisfied. The simplest, easiest way to get our attention is to click on this help button. There's obviously some tutorial stuff, so if one of these questions doesn't answer your question, doesn't give you the answer that you're looking for, simply click on the Ask Our Online Help Desk, give us some information, click on the Ask the Team button, and we'll respond to you as quickly as possible.
Great. Okay, I think we're all set. Unless you have anything else you can think of.
I'm just excited to get you guys launched. We're very, very happy, obviously, with the way the integration has worked with the Lexington Blue Glass Association of Realtors. Your entire association team has been just fabulous to work with, and I think what they've done in terms of providing this to you as just part of your member benefits is exceptional.
Okay, well, we're set. Thank you so much, Jeff, and have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks.